Hi family, Alicia Antoinette here with the Energy Healing Channel TV, and today is Wednesday, September 16th, 2020, and we're going to go ahead and hop in and read the energy of the day. Let's go. All right family, so we're going to go ahead and hop into this reading of the energy today. And I'm going to stick with kind of the theme that I've been currently doing, which is adding up the number of the day. Okay, so today is the 16th, so I'm going to pull 7 cards and read the energy of the day. So I'm just going to do a shuffle here. And it's really interesting. I went to my local occult shop today and they just happened to be closed. I was like, man, I need to get some more sage. I've been burning a lot of sage lately. Sage helps to clear the air of impurities and things of that nature. So I've been doing a lot of sage smoking of the house, also some Palo Santos. I like to use that to clear the energy of the day, and also just as you know, using it in that way to just clear the air. So I'm going to shuffle these a little bit. Pick 7. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. So let's see what message we get today. Okay, so the first card was or is the Prince of Discs. So I'll bring it closer so you can see the detail of the picture. Okay, so as I look at this, so just blowing some roses for some of the energy on this card. Okay, so with this first card, I'm seeing some blacks. I'm seeing orangish red. There's a lot of spheres and spherical type items. There's also, you know, the picture of the bull pulling him along in a type of carriage. I'm also seeing a lot of tan, and his facial expression is very interesting as well. Even though, you know, this is a card a lot of times dealing with earth or dealing with money, the discs or coins, sometimes they're worded differently depending on the deck that you get. And let's see here. There's a lot of energy on this card, so I'm just blowing some some roses to clear some of the energy, because I'm seeing that there's a transformation happening in the money space. So he has the world in his hands. He has basically earthly possessions and earthly things at his disposal. And as he's kind of on his travels, though, this carriage isn't really suiting him that well. I mean, like, the bull that's pulling him, it looks very malnourished. Okay, his carriage is black, and he has like these orbs in the background, and I'm seeing that as he's kind of carrying problems with him. Okay, there's also this expression on his face, like I mentioned, where, you know, he's looking down. There is not a smile about him, and the colors that he's kind of exuding from him are this like orange red, a little bit of yellow, but it's more of an orange red. And when I look at that, it just looks like frustration, really, and ready for something new. There are all kinds of other little symbols and things like that. I'm just seeing that as, you know, we are going into the season of fall, so September, October, and so there's definitely a change in energy. There's a level of dissatisfaction with current earthly possessions, and, you know, I mean, he's holding the world, but he's not really, it's not like it's really, he's holding it tight. Okay, it's like, it's just kind of there. And, you know, the bull, he's trying to pull him along, but like, even the way the wheels are turned, they're turned in as if it's making it difficult. Okay, so I just kind of see this as an indication of ready to bust limits that have been set in the earthly plane. Okay. All right, and so the next card is the 8 of Swords. Okay, put that closer so that you can see. So as we look at this card, at the bottom, it says interference. Okay, so we have 8 swords. 3 of them are beneath 2 longer swords. Okay, and when I look at these colors, there's very sporadic red lines and sharp angles. There is a little bit of that purple, and I would say more of a lavender. So there's kind of 2 different purples here. And remember, swords are words. So being cautious on some outside person's words or judgments, okay, can potentially cause interference in your path. And the purple and the lavender is a reminder to stay grounded out of all of this. You know, you want to keep your words grounded, although you may be encountering other people's nonsense. You want to avoid the interference that it will cause. I'm seeing, I'm seeing static, like you would pick up on a radio station that's not fully lined up with the signal. Okay, so this is a 5th chakra card as I'm clearing energy off of this card. So 5th chakra, so you want to make sure that you're words are coming out clear and that you're not interpreting someone else's verbiage as in a wrong way. You may have to take a step back and kind of look or really listen to what they're saying and almost decipher. It's a bit of having to decipher what people are saying to you, okay? Okay, and so we have the third card has come up as the Five of Wands, okay, and that's strife. Okay, so we know that wands or staves, they are fire cards, okay, and we can see this really prominent blue staff here. We have an abundance of yellow in the background. There are red and lighter blue staves in the back of the main staff here in the center. And a little bit of signs of a burst of passion and just clearing some energy off of this card. Yeah, again, I'm just seeing caution with too much fire. This larger column here is acting almost like a damper, okay? So we want to be able to work around that type of energy when it's present. One way to do that is to unmatch, and I see that going to a lighter color such as the yellow. So unmatching these darker colors here, okay, and going into more of a lighter, airy type of stance on things. The purple here, we see it has wings, so really an indication of being more lighthearted. When you're more serious and more constricted, it's going to bring the feeling of strife into the day. Yeah, I'm really seeing a lot of unmatching the energy of strife, okay, and embracing the lightheartedness and the airy. I'm just seeing the word air. So really looking towards being more on the lighter side of things, on the happy side of things, where you're, radiating happiness, okay? All right, so the next card that we have here is the Six of Swords, okay? So I'll bring that closer. And it's interesting that it says science, okay? And as we look and examine this card, there's quite a lot going on in this card. Again, we're getting a lot of swords and wands, so a lot of words and passion or first chakra. So we're seeing a lot of fifth and first chakra in this reading today. So for the swords, naturally blue, a lot of times I see blue as a good color for communication, okay? We see 6 balanced swords, but it's interesting that we see this cross in the middle, okay? Kind of indicating a little bit of crossroads, but the swords are creating more of a circular completion. There's a lot of sharp images here. Okay, we see some light lavenders, a little bit of yellow. There is a circle within a square that's on one of its points. So I'm seeing that there's a lot of energy when it comes to religion and medicine or the sciences. Okay, a lot of people are researching themselves. They're doing a lot of checks and balances of their own accord, because a lot of the things that we hear about, a lot of the things that we're told on the news, you know, they try and make it sound so official, but a lot of the things don't really help people like they say they do. And so I see this card as really balancing out the words that come in. As we see, you know, the swords are all pointing into the center. I kind of see this as really connecting the third chakra and the sixth chakra, only because it's coming into more of a central point. And when I see central centered images, it's like focusing on what you yourself think about the topic. How do you know, the information that you've gathered so far, what answers do you have? Because you really only have your own answers. A lot of the other stuff that we hear and that is taught to us is information from this realm, and it's kind of our job to decipher that information and come to our own conclusion. So I see a lot of coming to one's own conclusion. There's just it almost looks like spider webs in a sense. So really working on kind of getting through all of the words that are in the air, or that come over the airwave on social media and the news, getting through all of that and really honing in and connecting with your knowledge. The red that's in the center there, I'm seeing that as passion, and again, like yellow is bringing in and really connecting with your own light, your own value of yourself, and valuing your own words and your own opinions about how things are. Okay. The next card we have is the Six of Discs. Okay, so I'll bring it a little closer. And we see the word success. Okay, so like I've said before, you know, pulling the cards, it's really telling a little story. Okay, so to each story, there's the ups and the downs and the flat, you know, the monotone parts, and then it gets exciting again. So we're on this kind of sine wave in this reality, and you know, coming to the discs card, really, you know, coming from the Prince of Discs, where he's not looking or even showing a lot of enthusiasm or happiness. You know, there is going to be a breakthrough in a sense when it comes to money. Okay, so the colors that I'm seeing in this card, very beautiful. There's just a lot of different colors. So we see some blues and some reddish orange, some purple, and kind of in the center it gets to light pink, so a little bit of white and yellow. Okay, and then we have different astrological signs here that are in a balanced fashion. We see orbs and a 6-pointed star. Very artistic, and so I'm seeing that there is an alignment as kind of the stars align, that there's going to be an alignment when it comes to money. Okay, things are going to flow, things are going to be evenly, I want to say evenly distributed. There may be like an unexpected amount of money that comes in, and it's going to be just a very joyous occasion, because it's almost like this is like a little bit of an explosion. Like I'm seeing like a beautiful explosion of just this, I want to say the word auspicious. I know from like the other day I was using the word auspicious like so many times, but I'm just seeing a lot of energy of auspiciousness in this card. So there's going to be kind of like a windfall of some kind, or even just luck. I mean, it said the word that we have on this card says success. So whatever it is that you're working on and that you're pursuing, you're going to have some success in that. All right, so the next card, bring it over here. So it's the 10 of Cups. Okay. And the word at the bottom is satiety. And very beautiful card. It's a very warming card, and it's funny because when I look at it, it almost looks like a face, but it's not really a face, but it's just like everything is flowing and connecting. And remember, cards in the tarot are water, or they're dealing with emotions. So I'm seeing second chakra. Okay, the discs, I'm seeing that really connected to the ground, or to the root chakra. Okay, because it deals with earthly, more of the earth realm. So here we see some beautiful oranges, reds, gold, that beautiful gold, and then just this beautiful flow of liquid, and it's evenly flowing. There's no bumps, there's no rough spots. It's just nice and flowing. And I'm seeing a lot of also cosmic energy flow. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of pulling in information from your higher self and helping to clear out foreign emotions, which is really needed at this time, because there's so many opinions and emotions floating around out there that it can make it hard to distinguish between what's yours and what's not yours. And it's really cool. Like I see happiness and I see contentment. Of course, the word on the card is satiety. Hopefully I'm saying that word right. And that's just being satisfied emotionally, not feeling lonely, not feeling like you need validation. You already have that validation. You have that validation within yourself. and you're not looking outside of yourself for any emotional support or any emotional comfort. You're not looking for any other emotional comfort. Okay, and the number of the card is 10, so in numerology that adds it to 1. So really, self, this is talking about the person themselves, or you yourself. Okay, all right, and the last card that was pulled is the 2 of Swords. Okay, and very beautiful card. I love it. The swords are up, so I'm seeing a lot of positive words, positive affirmations to oneself. We see the green here fading, going into yellow. So with those 2 colors kind of playing on each other as growth and wealth of gratitude towards towards oneself, balance. I'm seeing that the sign of Libra is prominent here, and it's the moon in Libra. We see the swords they're not really black. There's a little bit of green, and it's this almost purpley blue. Okay, so the words and things are grounded. They are going in between this beautiful lotus flower. Okay, and so there's a sense of speaking consciously, not speaking unconsciously, where you're reacting to foreign emotions, as we were seeing back here. Okay, so like really working out the wording that's yours, really getting in touch with your inner voice. Okay, and really speaking, but with a tone of peace. There is no arguing, there's no nitpicking, there's no blaming of anyone else. We do see this white, okay, but in this image, because typically, when I see white is not a bad color. It can be used for different things, and I find that setting what you want the white to represent in your space is helpful, because it's definitely a color that helps stop energy, but it can go either way. So it can work for you and it can work against you, because entities without their bodies, they like to attach to white, especially if the person is unconscious to them, basically. And so if you do any type of energy healing, or if you do any type of things where you're utilizing colors or things like that, you just want to be aware, so that when you are using white, the intention that you're using the white for, okay, and making that intention clear. And we see that in this card, the white, it's not, and it's interesting. I mean, there's sharp points, but it's like, it looks like a flower or a star, kind of these designs around here, and just total balance. All right, so that's the energy of the day, and I appreciate you coming through, and I will check you guys out on the next one. Peace.